Hello there, thought I'd just do a quick update on my Range Rover P38 Holland Holland. Last time you saw it, I just collected it from the auction and it was sitting on my drive. It was bought as a running driving one, but it wasn't running very well. In fact, it was only running on maybe 3-4 cylinders, so alarm bells sounding straight away. As I said, it had been sitting in the field for many years and was feeling quite sorry for itself. So the first thing I did, I thought the engine needed a new engine. I was adamant it would do. I thought I'd just quick check the HT leads. Lo and behold, a mouse had bitten through all of them. Got an old set, put them on, and the engine started up absolutely sweet as a nut. So I was really pleased with that. So confidence was high. But as time went on, a car that's been sitting, a Range Rover P38 has been sitting in the field for a long time. So many things I've just found, just niggly things, nothing special, nothing major. As I said, I'd bought a donor car, which absolutely, godsend, made all the difference. So the engine was running, air suspension, I replaced a couple of airbags, reconditioned the compressor, and air suspension works absolutely fine now. No problems with that whatsoever. I'll give you a quick look in the engine and show you what I replaced and how I'm getting on in that respect. As I said, after 8 years, everything was seized. Oh my gosh, just such hard work. Okay, things that had gone. The power steering pump was exceptionally noisy, had to replace that. I did the plenum filter. Luckily the logbook sign was up, or unluckily the logbook sign was up. Again, straight away you think, oh, blend motors, I don't really like doing them. But in fact, they always say there's 5 blend motors, but we only ever think of the sort of the 3 main ones. And what it was is the cabin filter had completely perished. It had all gone down and the recirculating flap had got stuck. So I just cleaned that out and it started straight away. So I was happy with that, a nice easy fix. You can see, looking grubby already sitting in my garden. Next thing, brakes weren't working at all. Took all the calipers off, copper greased them, but still didn't work. And what it turned out to be, I thought it was the pressure switch, because the ABS brake pump wasn't switching on. Thought it was a pressure switch, replaced 2 pressure switches, wasn't working. And what it was just the plugs at the back, unplugged them, plugged them back in again, started up, but the sphere had gone, so I replaced the whole ABS brake pump with second-hand one off the other car, and that sorted that out. So the brakes are working absolutely fine now, engine's running nicely, air suspension's running nicely. Took the battery off the donor car, things like the bonnet latch was seized, just so many little things. As I'm going through, just taking them off, cleaning them up. I mean, the car looks terrible now, so don't get me wrong, but I mean, that is only cosmetic now. I mean, the main function is to get the car running and driving as it should be, get it through an MOT'd, and then we'll go for the full, well, I don't know, restoration, I suppose. I've had the wheels off. I've got a good friend who's a car detailer, and they were in horrendous condition, and he's managed to do such an excellent job at cleaning them. They're dusty now. I've been driving around just testing out, but he did a brilliant job, even inside the barrel as well, which is I always like to do. I've had the side steps off, replaced them as well with donor ones off the other car. The light guards, if you ever dealt with them before, they're a major workup. So a combination of the donor car and this car, I've managed to get them off, undo all the bolts, and I've done them exactly correctly, the way that it should be, with the correct nuts, correct bolts, correct nuts. I just want it all to be as original as possible. Inside, the wow, looks a mess here. How could you have a Holland like this? So my plan was, I only really want to take the interior wood out once. I just don't want to be taking it on, off, on, off. So I've taken all the wood out, put it safely in my house. Don't worry, it's not sitting in the garage and won't get lost. It's all clean, tidy, put away in the house. I've done the 2 heater core O-rings, drilled the holes. They were leaking very badly. Inside, it's had a quick detail, but I mean a very quick one. I've just been plodding along with everything, really. The boot, I've got a new liner and I've got a new cover. As I said, it's got the original leather boot liner mat, but I just don't really want to use that. Sat-nav's working well. I think I had to replace the sat-nav unit, I can't remember, I think I did after all that. TVs, they're working, but I just haven't fully got around to testing them exactly how that... The only thing that's not working is the remote control for it. I've got a spare remote control from a donor car as well, but still I just can't get the remote controls to work. I'd love to know if anyone's got any ideas about that. Again, at the rear, had the rear light guards off, taken the swan neck tow bar off. Next thing, got to take the bumpers off as well. The gearbox, there's something wrong with the gearbox. Now normally when they start going, my experience is that it doesn't work in drive, but you can drive it manually in first, second and third gear, but even first, second and third gear it's just not going. So yes, I might change the oil just to see if it works, but I'm not going to hold my breath about that, so I think we'll put a new gearbox in it. As you can see, actually, it probably looks quite clean on the camera. It is not. It's filthy, but it's far better than it was. Restoration-wise, I think it's going to be very good. I'm still umming and ahhing about paintwork. As I said, the plastics, the front and rear bumper, wing mirrors, all the plastic bits, the lacquers come off them, so they definitely need a paint. But the bodywork, I don't like having cars resprayed. It's just a personal opinion of mine. I'd far rather keep the original paintwork. As I said, one owner with original paintwork, but there are just a few scratches, niggles. Due to the value of the car, potential value of the car, I don't think I will keep it. I can't justify it. I've got enough classic cars and other things, and so I think I will sell it. If anyone does want to buy it after I've finished, I'm certainly happy to have the full respray done, and it'll just add a bit more to the value of the car. Or if someone wants to keep it original and I'll just have the bumpers and the essential parts doing it. I'm really in two minds. The paintwork is good, very good. It needs a real good mop, I suppose that's what they do. But yeah, I just don't know how far to go with that. So I mean, hundreds of jobs. It's incredible how time gets carried away with you and just doing silly little bits. I really do want to make it as good as possible, but I'm happy I've got the engine running, air suspension running, brakes running. I've put a brand new rear back boxes on, aftermarket ones admittedly, but they're the correct shape. You can sometimes get some funny looking ones that don't look, but I mean they look factory spec shape and size. So yeah, we shall see. Next video I do, I'll tell you how I bought it, a bit more about the history of it. Yeah, the history, as I said, one owner. It wasn't quite how I thought it was, but yeah. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Keep watching for future ones.